All right.
There it is.
We are a go.
We're going. Hello, estudiantes. I'm Senora Rodriguez.
Senor Zollinger, Marcos.
Senora Hughey.
And we are here to introduce your Spanish 2 project to you. You guys are going to be writing a short story in Spanish, all in past tense, using preterite and imperfect. It will be due the second block of the week of Memorial Day. So for Mrs. Hughey and Marcos's class, that will be Friday, June 3rd. And for myself, it will be Thursday, June 2nd and Friday, June 3rd. You will get up to 100 points for the project. The whole thing's out of 100 points, and it will go in your tests and quizzes category for Mrs. Hughey's and my classes, which is 40% of your grade. What else we got?
Say that part?
Oh, you will be writing the story, but also be illustrating it as well, including pictures, and creating a kind of children's story or a storybook as your final product.
And we have a list of things that your story needs to include. You'll have this paper available to you, but let me tell you right now, you'll need to include the preterite and imperfect tenses, obviously, because it's a past tense story. 5 vocabulary words from chapter 4a. 2 informal, tu, affirmative commands. 2 direct object pronouns, lo, la, los, las. 2 indirect object pronouns, me, te, le, nos, les. 1 reflexive verb, and 1 progressive verb.
Perfecto. And you're going to want to make sure your story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. Have a plot. Make it interesting. And also be sure to establish your characters, the setting, background information. Imperfect, a lot of what we've been talking about. And it could be a love story, a fairy tale, whatever you want it to be. Be creative. Have fun, but be creative and make them look good.
So your first step in the process of making the book is going to be to create a mind map, sort of an organizational tool. You will not turn that in. It's just a tool for you to get all the information you'll have in your story collected and organized. You should decide on the following. First, what's going to happen in your story? Where and when do these events happen? Who are the characters? What are their names? What do they do in the story? What are their roles? Try to think as much as you can about the details, the context, so the setting, and then the events that make up the plot of your story. After that, you will write a rough draft, which you will also not turn in. You will choose a title. You will edit your story for accuracy, so go back through and check what you've written. And your story should have the context, so that's like the setting and the background information, as well as events, things that happen that are interesting for the reader to read about. After that,
So you're going to create a storybook. And so you want to include an illustration and text for each page of your storybook. And we will present what we have with the story time. You'll read your story in groups of 4, and again, depending on what class you're in. So for my class, it would be Friday, June 3rd.
my class, Friday, June 3rd.
And for my class, it'll be Thursday, June 2nd for 5th period, and then 3rd and 4th will be Friday, June 3rd. Awesome.
Great.
And then to talk a little bit about the rubric and how you're going to be graded on this project, I have some examples from some students from last year from my Spanish 2 classes. We have this first one here is an example, and when you look at your rubric, this will make a little bit more sense, but this is your kind of score 1 column. So she's got writing on there. There are no pictures. Yeah, not so good, not very creative. There are a lot of errors in the grammar. And it was clearly kind of thrown together last minute. So that would be a kind of not so good example. The middle column, the score 3 column, is getting a little bit better. It has a little bit better grammar. It has illustrations, which is good. And the grammar's a little bit better. Still some errors, but that's okay, but definitely a little bit more thought went into this one. And then finally, kind of for the score 5, if you want to just knock it out of the park, and just make sure that you're getting that good grade that you want, it would look more like this. So a lot of color, really, really great illustrations. Her Spanish in this one was really solid. Good grammar, great use of both imperfect and preterite tense that we've been studying second semester. Good use of vocab. She clearly put a lot of work into this, and it was something that she could be proud of, and she did really well on. So just some examples. These will be available and some other examples for you in your classes so that you can take a look at them on your days that you're working on your project. All right. Thank you,
Buena
estudiantes.
suerte.
Buena suerte. Nos vemos.
All right,
Suerte.
adios.
Adios.